before the church people come out and start with their noise, I decided to do a video on things that you can actually plant once and you have it forever. These are also low maintenance plants that you just put them in the garden and almost forget about them, and they just keep producing, they keep giving and giving until you're tired. So I want to share that with you, and yeah, let's go. Water leaves are a very low maintenance plant that keeps coming back in your garden, whether you like it or not. It can root from leaves, stems, or even seeds, so you never can get rid of them completely unless you intentionally do so. Water leaves will keep growing in your garden until they produce flowers and then give you seeds like this. And the seeds pop when they are ready to pop and spread everywhere. So you have little water leaves coming out as weeds in the garden. And the cycle continues. So that's how you have water leaves in your garden all year round, year in, year out. Have water leaves popping everywhere in your garden. When you plant them once, you just have them popping everywhere in your garden. Garlic chives should be number one on my list, but because this video is in no particular order, that's why I had to start with water leaves. Anyway, so I only had to plant garlic chives one time, and I only needed just a little to plant, and it divides as it grows. A strand is all that you need, and it will keep multiplying by dividing as it grows when you cut it or harvest it. It only takes a few hours to grow back, and in about a week you should have enough that has grown back for you to cut again. So if you're looking to plant something that you use on a regular, garlic chives should be number one on your list. And this is so easy to maintain. It's low maintenance. You really don't have to do anything. It is also disease free because these diseases, they don't like the smell of anything garlic, so they stay away from garlic chives. So I've had these garlic chives in my garden for over 3 years now, and I remember just bringing in a strand, and now it has multiplied a lot by dividing. So if I want to have more in my garden, I can just uproot some of it and take it to other parts of my garden. Mooy leaves, the chairman of Plant and Leave Me Alone. You really don't have to do anything. You actually don't have to do nothing. You don't have to feed it. Oh no, yes, you have to feed it, because if you want the leaves to be big, you need to give it lots of nitrogen-rich plant food. So all you need to do is to plant a root of this plant, and you will have more than enough to wrap whatever meal you want to with it. Meals like agidi jollof or agidi moi, that's why it's called moi leaves, rice, or whatever food that you want to wrap this leaf with. It is very medicinal. So when I'm making jollof, instead of using foil to cover my pot to get that smoky flavor, I use moi leaves instead. Okay, so you can't get rid of moi leaves from your garden except you intentionally do it. So if you're a lazy gardener, if you want to plant this any low maintenance crop that you use regularly, moi leaves is that. Because the roots, if you're not careful with this one, it can go around your garden. So I've had to control it a lot of times by cutting it, digging it up, because the roots, they travel underground and they can just go and pop out from anywhere, every corner of your garden. Plants like ginger as well. Ginger can have only actually had to plant ginger once in this garden. So the trick with ginger is when I harvest what I want, I leave consciously, just leave one root of ginger in the ground so it can continue growing. That way I have ginger all year round. If you like Utazi and you use a lot of it, then this is one very easy plant that you should grow, and you only need to grow it one time as well. So I've had this growing since I moved into this space. This is almost 4 years ago, if not 4 years. So I've only had to plant it one time. So the good thing I did was to give it a really, really good, strong trellis for it to climb on, so that each year as it is coming back, it has somewhere to crawl on. Plantain, and all you need is just one sucker, and after that one sucker you keep getting more and more, because when I planted it was just one. Aloe vera as well. Aloe vera multiplies so well that you just need to plant once and you keep having and having. So to get more out of aloe vera, once there is a sucker like this, a small growth that will come out of the big plant, you can simply detach it and put them anywhere. You can plant it right away in a container or put them in a small space like this until they are grown. Then you can transplant it into wherever you want to transplant it. So I have two aloe vera variety in my garden. One is the big fat aloe vera and the other one doesn't grow as big as this. So when I have shoots from this aloe vera, because I want a lot of the big aloe vera, when I have suckers growing out like this, I just collect it and put them in small containers until I find the perfect container for it, because I prefer planting aloe vera in containers than planting them straight up in the ground. So I use aloe vera in making my liquid organic plant food for my plants. I also use aloe vera on my hair, and I also eat the aloe vera by juicing it with other things in my garden, and drinking it is great for the skin as well. So yeah, aloe vera is one of those plants that you can only plant once and you have it forever. Longevity spinach will root properly, will grow and spread. I mean, when I planted this one, I had to only transplant seedlings as small as this, and then that's how it increased in size. And this is from last year. So as long as I keep the soil rich and I keep trimming it, one plant is actually enough for me. So the only issue that I have, or that I've had, with longevity spinach is the fact that snails keep eating it. They seem to enjoy it. This is a very, this is not so popular. This type of spinach is not so popular. It has this very earthy taste, and it's a delicious vegetable that you need to grow. So longevity spinach, you need to just plant one, and as long as you keep taking out of it and keep leaving your soil rich, you will always have this in your garden. Just keep trimming it. You always have it. So, and it's such a beautiful plant. This can actually go in front of your house and beautify your space while feeding you at the same time. Okay, so make sure you trim old stems so that regular you can have new growth popping out regularly. Okay, trimming, you trim by cutting and eating. So when you cut, don't just take the leaves, just take from the stem so that new growth will come out and keep feeding you. And that's how you have your longevity spinach. So while I was filming, I couldn't help but notice how rich this soil is and all the worm castings that is being. Let me remove this porcelain from here. The roots are so deep. So all the worm castings, how rich the soil is, and I am coming down here to see this beautiful soil and the softness of this soil. So this is actually just all worm castings. This will be a very good seed starter. You can sow seeds here. Wow, so beautiful. Anyway, let's get back to basil. Will also act like scent leaf and water leaf. Once the seeds falls, and you have basil all over. So these basil seeds, this basil that was planted here is from the seeds from last year that was just all over the place, some scattered all over the garden, and I had to pick it up. Let me show you something like this. I had to pick it up. This is basil, and I know I had basil planted here before I put this sweet corn here. So I've got little basil seeds popping here and there. Look at them. So I just pick them up and transplant them into wherever I want them to continue growing, or if I want this basil to be here, I can just leave it or just pick it up like this and put it in a cup until it grows, and I can transplant into a pot. But for now, I'm just going to put it here until I find, let it just grow a little until I find a little space for it. Plant lemongrass as well. If you need a plant that you just need to plant once and that one time is enough for you, all right, just plant it and then have it forever. Lemongrass, just like aloe vera or some of the plants I have shared here, can stay for years with you, and all you have to do is just cut anytime you need. You cut it and it will grow back. So it is even better for you to keep cutting your lemongrass. Like this is due for a trim so that you have fresh one, and year in year out you keep having lemongrass. So lemongrass, just plant it once and you have it forever. Here to talk about dandelion, and then I see water leaf. So this is how water leaf pops in my garden. I haven't planted water leaf by myself in about 4 years since I moved in here, so the seeds are just spreading everywhere. We're here for dandelion. Dandelion is another one that you also even need to be careful, because it's, can you see how if you just plant this one, the roots will go underground and travel, and you will have little dandelions popping out of the ground. So it can spread all over your garden this way. So if you do not want that to spread, you can pot it, or I don't know, just what I do is, because I have other things growing here as well. I have this kale, I have okra, and I have that frills mustard over there. So and the dandelion travels. I don't want it to take over this bed. See how far that dandelion can go. Look at it there, popping out. So you have to even be careful with this one. All right, you can plant it in one place and it will go there and germinate and bring out new shoots. So look at this, is all of that from one plant. from one plant. That's it. It's just spreading everywhere. So when that one is tired, this one will take over. Oh, I had a mixologist call me one time asking the easiest edible flowers that they can grow, and butterfly pea was what I mentioned because this is my experience with butterfly pea. I only had to grow it once and I just kept having it year in year out.